Hi everybody, and welcome back to Nellie and Ruth Designs. It's a beautiful day here in the Adirondacks. We have finally had bright sunshine, which I have to close my blind just a little bit because it's in my eye. Unfortunately, when I make a video, I have to shut my blinds. So I'm missing the sunshine, but it's later in the day, and my husband and I were out this morning running around. It's Saturday, and my Roku broke, so I had to go about 45 minutes from here to our local Best Buy, and I had to buy a new one. I had him test my old one, and it wasn't working, so I got a new one. We did a little grocery shopping, and I was really anxious to come home. Today is craft day, hobby day for everybody. My boys are downstairs with their friends playing a big game of Magic. My husband's in the breakfast room working on his Lego Porsche, which I'm so happy he likes. He isn't one to have hobbies, and we got him this big Porsche to create at Christmas time. And so Saturday afternoons he spends doing that. And then I can get up in my craft room. So I wanted to start. I had done an introduction on this JoJo Adventures Rohan at the Louvre junk journal, but it's not really going to be a junk journal. I've been thinking about this a lot, and I kept thinking, I got to take this bracelet off because I'm jingle jangling. I've been thinking about what kind of book I need. I do not need another junk journal. So yesterday, when I was going through some items to create my Marguerite Miller weekly challenge, I found a little book that my mom had. And in that book, it was an A to Z book. And in that book, she had everything listed like under, let's say, like under S. She had when she had the septic pumped, who pumped it, and the date and the year. And then say under F for furnace, she had when the furnace people came, when they serviced it, and a little synopsis of what they did and how much it cost at the time. So I thought, yes, because I am terrible. I will put in my monthly, weekly date book when my appointments are, who's coming when, but then I never remember what year it is. I don't remember if we had our septic pumped last year, 6 months ago, 3 years ago. So I'm going to make this journal slash pocket folder book my household book where I keep all of my information. And on my tags, I can have a tag just for my furnace repair. I can have a tag for my air conditioning when they come and service that. I can have a tag for my septic. I can keep business cards in here. I can keep contact names, and I don't have to go through my A to Z pocket file folder and look for old receipts as to when the furnace people came, yada, yada, yada. So this is how I'm going to make this journal. So in the middle of the journal, I'm going to have pocket folders. And I'm going to have 4 pocket folders. So it'll be very similar to this. It's going to be 8 inches tall. I'll have pocket folders 4 or 5. I pulled the papers, and we're going to fold them and put them in the binding today. And I'm going to show you how to make the accordion binding for that. And then I'm going to have my journal pages on each side of this, so I can do some other journaling. So I think this is going to work out really well. I'm excited about this project, and I think it's a very easy project that you could do as well. So I'm going to set this aside. So let me show you what I have for us first off. And if you want to stick around for this, I highly invite you to stick around. It's going to be a fun project. I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to do more innovative, different ideas And I'd love to have you subscribe, stick around, stay on board. For those who have subscribed, thank you. I really, really appreciate it. And for those that are passing by, doing a drive-by and joining in, peeking in, thank you as well. So this is the JoJo adventure book that I showed in one of my other videos, and I absolutely love the graphics. You can go back there and take a look at that. I show you the entire book. I've already started today. I've started taking pages out. I have quite a few pages over here that I've let's see, let me just grab them, that I've set aside, images that I want to work with. The one dilemma that I came, it's not really dilemma, it's just a challenge, but the one challenge that I came across, I thought I'd be able to take these pages out and just fold and put in the journal, among my journal papers, such as this black one, all right? I cannot do that because I don't like the way the images are coming out. So even though this sideways, you open it up, it comes out. When you fold it over, it's kind of upside down backwards. I'd really like it if it were like this, where I could see it. This obviously would be upside down. So I don't like that. So I had to think how I was going to remedy this situation for myself. We will get to that after. But I referred back to a journal, a magazine journal that I bought from Liz Smith over at Mrs. Cog's Crafts, and I sat and studied that, and I came up with my own idea for this. In the meantime, we're going to set this aside, and I don't want to go too fast for you. So the first thing we're going to tackle is the accordion, the interior accordion binding that I'm going to show you how to do and how to adhere and attach these pages. But I'm actually not going to attach them today because I want to put some graphics in around here. And then we can work on those as we go along. So we're going to create this first, and I'm going to tell you the method behind my madness on this. And then these are the papers that I've selected to go to be my pockets. Now, again, these are the papers that I showed you in my past video of the JoJo series. And you can go to the playlist, and I'm going to have a whole playlist titled JoJo Adventure Journal Rohan at the Louvre, and you can find all the tutorials to this under that playlist. These, and you can also find the sources where I purchased all of the items I'm using. So these are the wonderful papers, the bright hot pinks, turquoise, that coordinate with the hardcover artist's book that I purchased. So I wanted papers, obviously, to complement these. So this is what I pulled. And these papers come from this pack right here. This comes from K and Company. And these, let's see, does it really have a name? It's just designer paper. Doesn't really have a name, but these are double-sided, and this is an awesome pack. I have quite a few of these packs because I absolutely love these papers. So I went through here and I pulled out what I thought would go fantastically, if that's a word, with the solid papers. So I picked this here, which is a wonderful orangey, peachy color. It has the blues in it. It has some of the pinks. All right, so I picked that. And then I chose this kind of a turquoise blue. And then this fantastic color here. This has some of the pinks. And I just thought it would be fun to mix up some of the colors. So everything just isn't so plain and simple in the journal. So it's been a while. I have to jog my memory here. It's been a while since I've scored and folded these papers. So I'm going to do that live and in real time, and hopefully it will work out and my memory will serve me correctly. So I believe I can use this one. This is Martha Stewart's scoreboard. And I just need here to, I have everything. I should be all set because I do have everything marked here in dark pen. So again, if my memory serves me correctly, I have to figure out here if I want this to fold up, if I want this as the background and this is the pocket. And I may want this as the background, whichever I want more to see. And I think, and that's the biggest decision I think you have to make. I think I want to see more of this and have an orange pocket. So, if I remember correctly, you've got your 12 by 12 paper here. You're going to score down the middle. Right? We score first down the middle. And like, you know, it's just paper, so we can always get more. So we're going to score at 6. Then we're going to turn it. And I believe this is where we score. Let me measure. Do we score at 4? Yes, we score at 4 inches. Whoops. So then we are going to score at 4. Not 4.5, Barbie. We're going to score at 4. So then I just have to think here. We fold in half, fold up, and then, yeah, I remember now. Let me think here. Score 2. So this is going to be, I just have to play with this a minute. This is going to fold up. And let's see, so here, oh, I know, I think I remember. Yeah, I know what we do. So when we get done with the 4, you're going to turn it, right? Oh, I have to make a little, and I'm going to make a mark with the, well, I don't want to make a mark with a marker. At 2 1/4, you're going to make a little mark. That's right, right there. And you're going to make a little mark here. So then at that 2 1/4, and I also have a video on this, at that 2 1/4 mark, you're going to take, and sometimes, let me do it in pen. Sometimes it's just easier if you just make a dot in pen. So you can make a little tiny mark there. And then you can make a little tiny mark here, okay? So then you're going to come over, and I drew a straight line right down here. So you're going to take, all right, let's do this here with your center 6-inch mark as well. So this is your center 6-inch mark. So then you're going to line up your mark here, and you're going to take your mark here, okay? Because this is your 6-inch, and you're going to score like this. So it's going to come and make a triangle. Then again, you're going to turn it and you're going to line it up. You're going to follow that black line. And you're going to score again for the two to meet. Okay, there we go. And then you're going to take this and you're going to fold this up very carefully. Fold that up, and you'll fold, I just make sure you get it on camera here. You'll fold this one up. Okay, so see, now you've got your point. Then you're going to fold this up. See that? Then you're going to fold it back. And there is your first, there's your first folder. Now, sometimes if you have a little bit thicker paper, this will, I'm not going to say the paper will come off, but it's going to get kind of funky. So if you want to, just to be safe, add a little bit of washi tape on the bottom, and I may do that just for some decorative featuring here, because I have some really cool Paris washi tape, and I've got this washi tape here, and you can use anything, any type of washi tape. You could even take, where's my muslin? You could even take some material and you could stitch this on the bottom. I've never had to do it in any of my books. I think it just depends on how much you score and fold. All right, so we have that one. So let's score the rest of these. And again, let's say I want to use the blue. I want that blue to face me. So we're going to do, and maybe I think the best thing, because we fold this back. So I'm going to do it this way. All right, so we're going to do 6 here. I'm going to use Martha's this one. I'm going to use 4. So we're going to use 4 across. Okay. And then we are going to mark the 2 1/4. I'm not going to mark it with a pen. I'll be able to see, I hope. And the 2 1/4 down here. And then we're going to take that 2 1/4 and the 6-inch mark. We're going to score. We will turn that slightly. Make sure that's lined up. Okay. Fold that in. Fold this one in. And this one doesn't, these don't line up perfectly, but that's okay. Do not fret about it. It's no big deal. Come up. And then we're going to fold this back at the score, okay? All right, so there's the second one. And let's see. I just want to get these folded for first, and then I will show you the binding. That way, these can just get, I can show you how they fit on. Remember, you have to turn your paper. Then you do your 4. And then this one I will mark again just so you can see. So we got the 2 1/4 there, 2 1/4, and let's go back here and do the 6. Sometimes it's just hard to. So there's our black dot. Here's our 6-inch mark. There's your 6-inch mark and your 2 1/4 right here. Okay. Fold. Fold. Fold up your 4. And then you fold back. Okay. All right. So, and I think we've got one more because I have 4 here. All right. So what is the other one that I think I would really like to use? This one. I think I'll use the blue because the blue is more I will probably end up making a couple of these because I really like the images in the book. Okay, so you're going to score at 4. And then you're going to mark at 2 1/4. And let's go back and mark the 6 inches here. And then we have the 2 1/4. We have the 6 lined up on that 8-inch mark. Again, 2 1/4 to the, all right, let me get that out of the way. Okay, yeah. And if you want a straight pocket across, you can just do, you know, might want to do a 3-inch and just fold it in half. You don't have to make these little, make them on an angle, but I really like them. So now once you have that, you'll be able to take your pages and then you can adhere them right on to this, which we will do. And then you can just, you'll be able to flip back and forth real nice. All right, so we're going to set these aside for now. And I'm going to show you how to create this accordion binding for pages like this. And the reason that I create this here type is so I do not have to, excuse me, I do not have to put holes and put my string through the outside. I like to have a really nice clean book on the outside, and I find that that's my preference. That's how I do all of my journals. That's how I did my blue and white journal. Excuse me. I just did the accordion, and you'll see when you do the accordion, you can just put it inside these here. So, all right. So what we're going to do is you want to take a piece of a manila folder, all right? And then just cut your manila folder in half, all right? And you want it to be 8 inches tall, and you're going to keep that wide, the longer part here, because you're going to have to accordion up like this. So what I do, and I like to have, you'll see on this here, excuse me, I like to have where I have a little bit more manila envelope inside to attach my pages to. So this is 11 and a half. Excuse me. So, and this is your 8 inches, okay? Oh dear. I'm going to start at 5 3/4, and I'm going to score at 5, and that's going to be my center point. And then I'm going to count over 4. All right, so I'm going to count over from this line here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to score again. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to score again. So these 3 lines here, these 3 score marks, this is going to be my one of my the top part here. All right. And then, so I've got 1 here. So then I have to score again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be like number 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then I'm going to come, I'm just going to do them a second time here. All right. Then I'm going to come over to this side and do the same thing from the center point. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I will have 1, 2, 3. I should have 4, but let's just take a peek. So on here, I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So we'll have 1. I'm going to do 1 more just in case. I think I have to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And if you don't use all of them either, it's really no big deal. So then I just kind of go through and I just accordion them just to make them a little flexible, because these are manila folders and they're a little heavier. Okay. Then I'm going to go back. I usually start at the, let's see. Okay, let me see here. So this would be, let's go back to the center here. And this is where I have to really kind of just play with it. So this would be a bottom, right? Yes, this would be a bottom. So I'm going to start here with this one. And just kind of accordion it up. And if it's not exactly how, then you're going to leave a space in between. And if you want to position them differently, you can, because see that you haven't adhered anything down yet. You haven't taped anything or glued anything together. Yeah, this is right. So there's your 3, and then we have the 1 more. And that will be this one right here. So now you have your 4, I guess we could call them pleats, for your 4 pages to adhere on here. So how I like to adhere mine down, I do not use glue, because I just find it's just personal preference. If you have glue and you want to use it, you can glue. I like to get everything stuck down quickly, and I want to make sure it stays. So I use the Sukwang, and this is the 1/2 inch size, and then you can go in here. Let me make sure the 1/2 inch. The other one I used a 1/4 inch. Yeah, this should fit. This should fit okay. And then I'm going to get that just in there, right along that first, I guess I'll call it a valley or a seam or whatever. That first alleyway, I don't know what you want to call it. And then get that adhered down. And then you're just going to come back over on the other side and you're going to see how that sticks together. So now you have your first permanent pleat. Then make sure you know which you're going to pleat here, so you can do the inside. You can even do the inside of this one if you want to, however you want to work it. And I'm just going to cut a piece here. I'm going to lay it right down in there like this. And I know this looks very, very awkward, and it may take you a little bit, but once you get it, these are so easy to make. All right, so there's your second pleat. All right, see that? And then you're just going to flip it over again. And then you can see you've got your little valley right here. So you can put your tape either on this side or on that side. It doesn't matter. And like I said, you don't have to use the 1/2 inch. I used quarter of an inch on this one here, and it holds just fine. And then we will get this one down in the valley here. And if you're worried that you cut too short, you can always just take another little piece and stick it right in there. Okay, so that's down in that valley there. If you want to work from the back side, if it's easier, you can just pinch it and go back to the front. So there's your third pleat, and then we will complete the last one right here. And you don't have to do 4, or, I mean, you could do 2 of these pockets in the center. I mean, you don't have to do this either. You can just, you know, make your journal, and then you can add pockets as you go along on your pages. I just thought this would just be, I just wanted to do it this way. There, so there you have your, you have another pleated, I'm going to call it a pleated binding. All right. And then what I did on this one, okay, I don't necessarily have to do it on this one here. What I did on this one is I just counted to 4 again, and I scored, and that is where I will put, that is where I will sew my pages in, all right, before I do the binding. So how am I on time here? 34 minutes. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do, I think that's enough for today. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate these here. I'm going to, because I have a lot of fussy cutting to do. I want to get some of these images cut out. I want to put them on the backdrop here. I want to put some other items, some other images down below. Kind of create a little story for myself. So I'm going to work on that. When I get all of these decorated and enhanced and embellished how I want them. Then we will be back. I'll come back and we can actually put them in the book, and then we can continue in that aspect. The other thing I wanted to show you today is this. So I had mentioned in the beginning of the video, when I folded the pages, they weren't coming out the way I wanted them to, because I like to have the images so I can see them when I flip my pages. So what I did was this. I took a page. Let's see. I'm going to show you this on a page maybe that I won't be using, or maybe I will use in this set here. You'll notice that I have washi tape here on the front, or it could be on the inside. And then it's actually, I've sewn it to this page here. It's sewn on the back side. So that way, when I'm going through my journal, I still have a page here. I don't have to worry about it ripping out. It's protected with washi tape, and I've sewn it on the back side. This is a loose one. For some reason, this came out okay, I think. This one here, I did the same thing. I added the washi tape, and then I sewed it on the back side. So the images are still right side up. This one here, because I didn't want to get rid of the louvre here. I had cut the page down. I brought it over. So on here, I'm going to add either an envelope. I'll make a window envelope that can flip back and forth. I might make so I might just keep this a pocket so something can slide in. But when you turn the page, you can see where I've sewn it there. I have this part of the book because of the pinks and blues. And then on the back side here, I have the rest of where the louvre, all part of the louvre with the washi tape. So that's all protected on there. This here is just the back side. This is the part of the black. And then you can see where this is sewn, and this is the back side. So let me just show you really quick how I did that. I'm not going to sew, but I will show you how I put the washi tape on and how I decided. So let's see here. Let's see. I really like this, but I think I don't want to cover this with washi tape because I love these Paris postcards that are showing, and I do not want to really cut this image down. I may shrink this image and use it somewhere else in the book. So that I'm not going to cut up and fool with. Let's see here. I really like this image here. The two of them together. This I like as well because I love her in the kimono. These are horizontal. I like these. I may use some of these over here on this, or a strip across here. So I'm not going to use those. The Paris here, I really like this one. But again, I think I might make tags out of these because I'm not crazy about the inside of this. I don't want that in my book. Oh, let's see here. This image I really like. I wouldn't mind that. This I could put in the book here. This would make a cool belly band. So let me look at this page here. Let me just get the book. I want to see if there's anything with more of the turquoise. I love this. I wanted to incorporate that, but again, if I cut it, I'm going to be cutting Ruhan's, and I want to use this because this is his introduction, who he is. So I'm not going to cut that. Here's some of the purples and pinks, which I really like. This is when they're down underneath the Louvre. This one here I like a lot. This one I wouldn't mind using either. I just have to decide what I want on the back of the pocket folder pages as well. If I use this page I might be able to use. I could put this towards the back possibly for the epilogue. All right, let me see this one here. And I'm going to get out my handy dandy seam ripper that my girlfriend made me for Christmas. And I'm just going to take this apart here. And I'll just show you on this page here, and then we'll end the video. Alright, so yeah, isn't she gorgeous? I'm going to be using that too. I'm going to scan that and use that image in my book. So I'm going to move this, and we can put this towards, this will be in the back, so I can put this with the blue, and I can move these how I have them around, but I think I'd like to put this with the blue. So we have to cut this down to 8 inches, or a little less than 8. So we are going to, let's get this here. And I don't remember when you're doing this, you have to kind of figure out, because remember, you're going to be folding this one side over. So this is about 8, what did I figure, 8.5. I may make this a little bit smaller because I may want to use that epilogue. So this is about 8.25. So I'm going to make this a little bit shorter, which is just fine because it doesn't have to be, because I want to hang on to that epilogue area. So the next thing I'm going to do is, I really want this whole thing to be in here. So I have to cut this side down a little bit, which means I'm going to have to cut into her. So this is what, 5, I'm going to say a little less than 5.5. So I have to cut into her. Oh gosh, I hate to cut her. I hate to cut her. Well, what I'm going to do, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I will fold this side and I will show you. Then I'm going to scan her because I want to use her. And then I can cut her and use her in another area. So this is what I do for the side. So you always have to be thinking. So this is what I do for the side here. So in order just to strengthen this and make it stronger, I'm taking this washi tape here, okay? And this is my Paris, Rome, London. And I'm going to put this here, such as this, okay? And I know I'm covering up that wonderful street lamp there a little bit. And then what I will do is I will then fold this to where I will fold this here like this. All right. And then what I do is, and remember, I will cut this down, but I want to scan her first. So then what I do is I adhere it onto here. This is very easy. It's a very easy process to do. And then I clip it to get it in place. All right. And then once this is cut, I would clip down the sides to hold it. Then, once I would have it clipped all the way around, and I'm sorry I have to do it this way, but I just can't cut her. I can't bring myself to do it. Once I have it all clipped, this would be cut. I could also fold her and open her up. I necessarily wouldn't have to cut her. I may try that after I scan her. Then you open this up, okay? And you run it through your sewing machine right where this notches. And you just kind of have to eyeball it. So you're going to put the outside of your, say this is your foot on your sewing machine. Say this is your foot. You're going to run that outside foot along here. And that's where I do the zigzag stitch. And you just really, what do I do with my things here? You just really have to eyeball it and take your time. You just have to eyeball it and take your time. But you can see where I stitched. And then it's still adhered to this. And then it folds over. So that's all you do to create a page such as this. And then once this is stitched down, you're all set and ready to go. And you have some really fun stitching on the inside. And that's it. So I hope that wasn't too much for everybody today. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. And I will go over this again briefly with you when we're putting these into the binding here and getting it ready to, once we make our book cover. So that's it, my friends. Again, I hope I went slow enough for you. I wanted to get a lot in today without doing too much. I didn't want to boggle you down and confuse you. So yeah, this is going to be a really fun project. Thanks for joining in, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.